Have you ever caught yourself second guessing when to speak your truth or felt guilty for needing help, even when your heart knows that it's okay to receive? This week's energy is all about that dance between authentic expression and divine support. We're exploring what it really means to create from honesty, to receive without fear, and to trust that life has your back. So if you've been trying to find peace between being real and being held, this episode is for you. Let's dive into the energy weather for this week and what gates 1 and 2 are revealing about how we create, trust, and receive. Gonna do a quick recap of last week's energy. Last week, we had 44 and 24 in our Sun and Earth gates, and that brought our attention to the stories that we tell around safety and connection. Gate 44 stirred memories of old relationship patterns, times that we tried to read people's motives or even prove our loyalty. Gate 24 echoed the mental loops that follow. What if I'm wrong? What if I should have said it differently? Together, they reminded us that clarity comes from rethinking. It comes from recentering. Many of us realized how often we second guess what our bodies already know. The reflection question that I want to leave you with is, what did your body already know last week that your mind kept trying to re-argue? This week is an invited union between authentic expression, gate 1, and receptive trust, gate 2. It's the dance between saying, "This is me," and breathing, "I trust life to meet me here." The energy encouraged honest self-expression that is grounded in calm awareness. It whispered, "Don't rush to explain yourself. Wait until your truth feels peaceful in your body." When we speak from that place, whether to a partner, a friend, or even the mirror, our words carry safety instead of defense. Now, our sun boost energy that we are in right now, in essence, this gate 1 gives the impulse to express who you truly are. In the shadow, it feels like pressure. It feels like maybe you might need to perform. Maybe you're oversharing, or sometimes even staying quiet to avoid judgment. In the gift frequency, though, it's creative honesty. It's revealing what's real once it's ready to be shared. This gate reaches towards our throat chakra. So, how we're going to hone this in. So, maybe you've had a truth sitting in your chest about a change you want to make, maybe a new direction, or a feeling that you can't ignore. You rehearse the conversation in your head, trying to guarantee a safe outcome. Then one morning, you notice that you're not buzzing or even bracing anymore. You're just steady. That's the moment truth and timing finally match. You share, and instead of backlash, you're met with understanding. And that's this week's solar invitation, expression that serves connection, not control. To help you process this energy, sit with these questions. Where am I tempted to share from guilt instead of clarity? What does ready to speak feel like in my body, not my mind? Check into that heart space. What one sentence would be the most honest and kind version of my truth? I went to a memorial service a couple weeks back, and the joke was that whenever Mama C had something really serious to say, she would put a little sugar in it. She was from down south. And so that's what I think of with this last one, with kind, honest kindness. Then in our earth, we had gate 2, this gate 2 receptivity support. The essence here is trusting the unfolding and allowing support. In the shadow of this energy, we grip. We try to stay in control. We fear that help will cost someone else. And the gift, we're able to receive with openness, knowing that mutual support expands everyone involved. My story this week with this was around noticing an old belief surfacing that being helped might somehow hurt someone that I love. And I realized that it traces back to childhood, when love and resources felt conditional. Even kindness came with risk. If someone helps me, will they pay for it later? This week, that pattern softened through simple moments, like when Dre, Taylor's dad, offered to buy hiking shoes that I had been eyeing. I didn't need them to survive, but saying yes was a really big energetic shift. It was the allowance of letting receiving feel safe. Later in the week, I was watching Jesus of Nazareth, and the line, "You can't serve two masters," landed deep. And I saw how often fear made me serve money instead of faith. Gate 14 is the other half of this energy that lives in the sacral. I have 14, not the two. So this completed a channel for me, and I had a super boost, if you will, in energy when I was processing this gate too. And the gate 14 reminded me that money is choice. It's the ability to create, to travel, to build healing spaces. And when I stopped gripping, gratitude ended up replacing guilt. And I finally felt supported and safe at the same time. The reflection questions that I want to leave you with to help you connect to that trust this week. Where am I afraid that receiving help will cost someone else? What small act of allowing support could I practice today? And lastly, if money equals choice, what choice do I most want to expand right now? I like to give quick tips of processing both energies. And so the first one is divinely timed truth is going to help you this week. So taking that pause and really checking in with your body to ensure that there's this calm, quiet peace, this knowingness that lives inside your body. The second thing that's going to help this week are tiny yeses, accepting support in low stake moments to help you build that trust that it's safe to receive. Third tip, gratitude as a state. Moving from gratitude, sometimes that helps us get into the mindset of gratitude to create the energy, but getting into the feeling of it and letting the thankfulness soak in. Imagining even like a light sometimes of it just filling your body with gratitude can be helpful, a helpful visualization to get into the feeling of it. Fourth, naming the need. Replacing, it's automatic, autopilot sometimes. Replacing "I'm fine" with a specific ask. Actually checking in and saying, like, do I need time? Do I need touch? Do I need to take care of a task? Maybe I just need tenderness right now. You know? And lastly, what's going to help you this week is faith over gripping, gripping for control. When worry shows up, act from a place of trust instead of urgency. Tapping into what can that feel like in your body. All right, that's what's going to help. Some things to be conscious of this week, some things that might trip you up. Confession impulse. So speaking too soon just to offload discomfort. I know a couple of us have emotional authority here, and sometimes in that wave, we can just be like, I just have so much, and we're in the high part of the wave and we want to communicate everything. Peace. Waiting for clarity. Giving yourself the gift of waiting for clarity. I used to think it was hiding something while I was taking time to wait for clarity. And really, no, it was making sure, especially with an open throat, that the timing was right so that the truth would land in the heart of the person I was trying to communicate to. So that's number one. Number two, control spiraling might trip you up, trying to micromanage the unknown instead of becoming a partner with it, right? Planning every single detail. The third thing that might trip you up is money fear, letting bank balances dictate your peace of mind. We're living in a world where scarcity consciousness is spreading, it's here, it's spreading, growing. And the more that we can be conscious of what this is alerting us to in our bodies and not looking at the external 3D of it, the more we can find that inner peace. Fourth, support shaming is going to trip you up this week. So declining help because needing feels unsafe, right? Receptivity, it's okay. And lastly, head pressure. One of the things that I was doing, practicing with was, like I said, naming where I feel things in my body. And I noticed that oftentimes my heart was clear, but my mind was like, wait. And then it's all this pressure, just like right in the front part, all up in here in between the temples. And I realized that I was trying to think my way to safety instead of breathing into it and realizing that my body already felt safe. What stood out for you in this week's energy? Maybe you noticed a moment where you held back your truth, or a moment where you finally said yes to being supported. What's one thing you're taking away from the gates 1 and 2 energy that you want to bring into this week with you?
I'm going to jump in because I never, on calls, normally I hold back and I wait for everyone to go first. And every single thing you're talking about is hitting for me. One is, I looked at my report earlier. I said I didn't know what line I was. I'm line 6. I do know, and this is my running theme this week. Or when you do the forecast, are we talking about this week?
Rifa, you don't need to, it's fine. Speak from what you're
Okay,
sharing.
this is what's happening with me. I'm doubting myself. I'm worrying. I'm overthinking. And I'm having so many downloads of little things coming into my brain and overthinking. And then that thing you did at the end, that's what I really need. I also shake when the energy's coming through me. And I'm like, how can I be with people? Because suddenly I start shaking, the energy moving, which never used to happen in the ordinary world. It would only happen sometimes if I was in a very sacred space, or if I was meditating. But I'm also like, okay, this is what my body does now. It just shakes. But yeah, every single thing is exactly what I needed to hear. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing that. Can I share something with you about the shaking? Because I've started a practice of shaking, like as one of my like go-tos. I would imagine it probably looks a little silly from someone else, like looking outside in. But what I'm envisioning, because it kind of looks silly for me in my mind, because what I envision is a zebra shaking off like the attack of like almost being eaten by a lion and surviving. The words and the things that they say. As we evolve, the stress response is still there, but like not to things that are going to kill us, is to traffic and like your boss asking you to, can I speak with you for a moment? When I find myself, if I take a moment to breathe, it's still there. Breathing didn't work. Literally, I'll go just like shake. And I envision myself as a zebra, like surviving, not getting eaten by a lion or a cougar or mountain lion or whatever. I don't know where I'm imagining the zebra. And I know that I look a little silly. And it's funny because I've actually done it a couple of times near Taylor and she'll shake it off with me. And I love that for her as an emotional authority being, it's showing her that like it's okay to do what you need to do to make sure that your emotional state is okay. Like even if you're in public at a grocery store, you might never see those people again. They saw me shaking. They don't know what I was doing. And unfortunately, they don't have the gift of this coping skill.
Yeah, I'll tag team on that one to say that who cares? Cares? If they don't like your shaking, tell them to go away. I'm a rocker. Shaking works for me sometimes, but like rocking is the thing that I envision myself cradling baby Shayla. And it's my way of letting my body release. And yeah, sometimes I look a little silly. Sometimes you think I'm nuts. That's okay because that's what my body needs. And I have learned to just accept. We are very powerful beings when we allow our bodies to do what they need to do without our own internal judgment. It is a powerful gift to let your body process. And more people are going to, especially as we get closer to 2027, are going to need that gift. And the more you let yourself feel it and own it, the more power you'll have. And I can say that with certainty. I don't know you, but I feel very certain about that. At least for me, that's exactly what's happened. The more I release the need to control everything that comes out of my body, can control everything in my mind. So grateful for this space always. Don't worry about the timing. There's still so much for me to learn about human design, so much, but that's what we have Diamond for. The transformation. It's been what, 6 months, Diamond, almost? About that.
Mm.
The transformation in that timing, just in that small, I mean, for some, that's a long time. For others, it's such a minute amount of time, particularly if you compare it to our lifetime. But you won't recognize yourself the more you lean into your gifts because your soul chose them. And I don't recognize this version of me at all, at all. And that's for the better. It's been for the better. Leaning into the gifts this week, I just resonate with so, so, so much. I'm pulling a James Baldwin quote about truth telling. One, the energy, but just this conversation. And so it's my last slide that I'm adding to my deck, but it's the perfect thing to make everything make sense all together. It ties in that whole story. And it's crazy because it's my talk is in 6 hours, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it feels right. And I'm letting my body do what it needs to do and letting my mind shut up when it's telling me I'm doing too much.
I love you, Taylor. And I love that you have your Mac reactions turned on with your new Mac.
Yeah, thank goodness for this new computer.
Last week, the energy that we were in, it was asking us to slow down. And that was a very real thing for Shayla because she was trying to do some stuff on an old computer that eventually just went. It was like the ultimate slowdown. Does anyone have any ahas they want to share real quick?
I was gonna say this was so timely. I mean, everything resonated very much. The one thing that I really took away was help isn't pity. It's partnership, connection, and a boundary can coexist. So that's just so beautifully said. So thank you for that. I needed that.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank you for today. I saw it and I said, oh, I just have to, I felt compelled to come and I'm so glad I did. What a beautiful space and beautiful souls. And I feel better already. And I took a screenshot of a thing or two and I'm going to actually reread it, and sit with it. And you say this is every week?
Yes,
Oh, I
everything.
look forward to coming again. It set my tone for today because I got a text message and the person who is a challenging client, and I'm going to actually sit with what we learned today, what I heard today, and go into it with love and just relax and not be tense before I call this person. So thank you for this, and I look forward to coming again.
I'm looking forward to that too. This week's energy is reteaching us what real integrity feels like. It's not perfection or immediate honesty. It's emotional alignment. When your truth and your tone agree, your words become medicine. You're also rewriting what support means. Help isn't pity, it's partnership. Allowing others to give doesn't diminish your strength, it multiplies it. Let that awareness ripple into your relationships, your parenting, your creative work. Connection and boundaries can coexist. Sometimes 15 minutes of presence is plenty. Sometimes saying no honors both souls involved. And either way, love remains the language, the through point. So your gentle challenge this week is when worry stirs, place one hand over your heart, or you can place it over your head. You can do a little bit of both and say, I choose to trust life right now. My truth lands in love. My receiving is safe. Coming up next week, the sun is entering into gate 43 and the earth is entering into gate 23. And this is creating a channel in us, the channel of insight and expression. Everything that you've clarified this week is soon gonna want a voice to say some things. So stay gentle with your process. Your next revelation is already forming its words in the background. If you've been listening and thinking, this feels like where I am right now, then a clarity session might be exactly what your soul's been asking for. These sessions are sacred pause, a space to map your energy, your patterns, and the next aligned step that feels true for you. Whether you're navigating a relationship shift, a creative transition, or simply wanting to reconnect with that inner guidance, our one-to-one time together will help you untangle the noise that's in your mind, find the message that's underneath your emotions, and leave with a grounded direction and this calm confidence. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need the courage to get curious. You can book your clarity session through the link in the description, in the chat, or at diamonddripconsulting.com/clarity. I would love to hold that space with you.